One other thing I love about the US is how friendly the neighbors are. Not so much in Europe. For example, in Nordic countries, if you hear a neighbor walking in the corridor, you wait for them to pass so you don't bump into them and have an awkward encounter. Nature-wise...
Hi YouTube, welcome back in hell. My name is Cypress, and if you didn't know yet, I stream live on Twitch. So if you'd like to see me play games or hang out with me in my community, or even like to say you didn't know that I stream live on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/VTuberCypress. Today we'll be watching another video by Well. This is USA versus Europe, what each does better.
USA versus Europe. Allegedly the greatest country on the face of the planet, against some place over the Atlantic, which is probably right next to Paris. In this video, I'm
definitely right next to Paris. How did you know?
To talk about the differences between these two places, their pros and cons, and a bit about the stereotypes, because they're fun. Okay, US. It's big, right? It's almost the same size as Europe. You may ask, what's this blue thing right next to the map? Don't mind that. It's just Texas.
Why is Texas there?
And here's Europe. This may come as news to some Americans, but Europe is a continent, not a country. The number of countries in Europe is debated, so I'll say it has somewhere between 44 to 50 countries.
Europe, Asia.
Now pay attention. Europe is a patchwork of countries, all with different histories, economies, and living standards. The Greeks, the Dutch, and Ukrainians are nothing alike. So when I say Europe during the video, I'm heavily generalizing for the purposes of this video. So okay, let's just get into it. For starters, here's how an average European sees the US. Well, this is New York, Texas is right here, and that's the state of Los Angeles.
No, I'm gonna... Actually, I guess so, yes.
This thing that looks like a is Miami, and this is the Midwest, right? Yeah, that's the whole US. And here's how an American sees the Europe.
I only see New York and LA, not gonna lie, I'm sorry. I don't know my geography, I'm sorry.
European continent. This is England, Paris, France should be here. This is where the Soviets live. Germany, maybe. IKEA. And this is the Czechlo something. In Europe,
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of countries, okay?
Have this thing called public transit. It's cheap, it's everywhere, and often you'll see people of all income brackets using it. You can also bike or go around on foot, since most cities are pedestrian friendly. You'll even see school kids using the public transit to go to school. Also, in many countries, they're often sent out alone on various errands. In the US though, the only distance you go on foot is from your bed to the bathroom and from your front porch to your car. If you didn't know already, the US is super car dependent. I mean, there are a ton of drive-through fast food places, drive-in cinemas, hell, even
man, I want to go to a drive-in cinema.
Drive-through banks at some places.
Oh, what? A drive-through bank?
But don't get me wrong, Americans love this, because the states are huge.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I mean, it makes sense. If the states are that huge, why would you not make use of the space like that?
LA metro area is nearly the size of Portugal. Plus, this is literally what happens if you want to walk to go buy some popsicles in Phoenix during the summer. So people would rather load up their trunks and go everywhere they want on a whim. In most European countries, stores close early, and in lots of them, they're closed on Sundays.
Yes, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I'm really craving this specific thing right now. I look at the time, it's just 8 or 9, and the place where I wanted to order it from is like closed, and I'm like, shit. Or like the grocery store as well, it's like already closed, and I'm like, shit. Or like specifically, like certain, like a lot of restaurants here on a Monday are like closed, and I'm like, specifically on the Monday, I really want to eat something and it's closed.
In the US, they're open, and even if it's like 2 a.m. and you suddenly crave some waffles for some reason, there will be a diner.
I am so jealous of this though. I am so jealous.
People in the US are more ambitious. There you could be one big break away from being rich, but also one disaster away from poverty, medical bankruptcy, or being homeless.
Okay, that's less nice. I am not jealous of that.
But what about Europe? In most European countries, you definitely won't make as much money as you do in the US. There's a saying that goes, you won't get wealthy in Europe and you won't get healthy in the US. I'll get into
I guess it's pick your poison, huh?
To the health part later. Despite what some Europeans think, US isn't the hellscape gunland full of death, destruction, and poverty. Of course, not everyone is wealthy in these states. There are millions of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck and a lot of homeless people. Now, this is a European person. He has
a European person.
A work-life balance, crazy job security, free healthcare, and like 4 weeks of paid vacation with unlimited sick days.
And yeah, the taxes.
And despite what a lot of people say, US
Taxes are crazy.
does have a social safety net. Just the holes of the net are so big that you'll fall through. This whole thing is like riding a bicycle. Europe gives you training wheels and catches you if you fall, but won't let you go as fast. The US pushes you and lets you go as fast as you want to. But if you fall, you're The US is super diverse. There are people from different walks of life, and you'll have the same equal opportunities. Wait. What was I saying? You'll have the same equal opportunities, acceptance, and mobility. On average, USA is one of the most racially tolerant countries out there. But at the same time, if you narrow it down to some towns, you'll encounter some of the most racist people you'll ever meet.
I mean, that's the same thing here in the Netherlands, to be honest. Like, it's fine when you're like in the big cities and then you go into like some small town and then suddenly you notice it.
The US simultaneously one of the most and least racist countries in the world. On average, America is seen more racist than Europe. Now about Europe. If you think there aren't any racists in Europe, you just have to go to a football/soccer match in Spain. In some countries in Europe, you could even be rejected for an apartment because of your skin color, nationality, or even last name. No.
You really need to change that.
No, I'm not racist. I just think all of the and are filthy animals and need to go to home. Most houses in Europe don't have central AC, mostly because it's too freaking expensive for them. In Europe, AC is more of a luxury, but in the US, it's a necessity.
In the apartment that I'm in right now, I do have an AC. It literally needs an AC because it's not bearable in the summer if there's no AC in here. But also, the rent is freaking expensive because of it. But I'm also gonna move out next month because this place is too expensive for what it is.
You could literally die. Their public toilets are much nicer, but you've got to pay for them.
Oh, here? If they're paid toilets, they're nice. If they're not paid...
Hell nah. Paying to take a dump? That's just stupid.
Well, I would gladly pay to take a dump if it means that I'm always gonna have a clean toilet, okay? I don't care.
No ice for me. Why aren't you getting ice for your soda? That's a stupid thing to do. That way you get half soda, half ice. I'm getting my money's worth of soda. You are aware that there are free refills here, right?
Yeah, I'm jealous of that in America. I went to the McDonald's and they have like this new drink, lemonade or something. And every time that I got it, I was like, why is this lemonade like gone in like 2 seconds? And then I realized they're putting a bunch of fucking ice in it. So I'm like barely getting any lemonade. And there are no refills. There are no refills.
Oh, here's the check. 20% tip? Yeah, in Europe, tipping isn't mandatory. About the food, you may think Americans only eat Big Macs, Freedom Fries, gallons of ranch dressing, and grill 365 days a year. But there's more variety. Texas barbecue, West Coast seafood, East Coast seafood,
oh my god, it looks so
fatty
good.
food.
I want to try these.
Tex-Mex, Cajun and Creole, soul food,
I want to
New
try
England,
that.
Hawaiian, fusion
stop,
food,
you're making me
and more
hungry.
types of barbecue sauce that you
yet.
can count. Now,
had
a
food
lot
yet.
of these are not healthy enough, but they sure as hell are delicious enough. Sir, these preservatives and chemical garbage we put into our food is really bad for the people. Does it make it delicious and more addictive? Well, yeah, it does, but also, here's a picture of American and European food portions. You see, they have so much farmland and space that food is cheap and it comes in big portions. In fact, everything is bigger in the US. Their cars, their houses.
I have to say, there are some food places here in the Netherlands, at least, as well, that give you like ridiculously big portions. So there are places.
Their appliances, their bellies. So I want a double bacon cheeseburger with a side of fries and a big ass soda. Hold on, is the bun gluten-free? Thank you kindly. The food diversity in Europe is in another league. I'm not gonna give you a list of their delicious foods because that's gonna take forever. They're usually very serious when it comes to food. European foods are generally cheaper, healthier, more fresh, made with minimal ingredients, and mostly locally grown. This, combined with the fact that they walk a lot more, is the reason for them being in a better shape. Take the French for example. I always wondered how in the hell you could be surrounded by pastries, cheese, and wine at all hours of the day and still be one of the skinniest nations in Europe. I thought to myself maybe they only have these two for breakfast. But as it turns out, they avoid snacking and walk a lot. That's it. Also, they don't deep...
I mean, most of the times, if you just take out all of the snacks that you eat usually, and if you replace it with like fruits and vegetables, like actual stuff that fills you, it actually already gives a big change.
Fry things, and don't add so much cheese that the original item disappears.
But it's so good when you add so much cheese though.
They also tend to be happier and have a longer life expectancy. Europeans can spend hours upon hours in a restaurant, taking their sweet time talking, eating, and drinking with no rush whatsoever. Meanwhile, Americans suck down their food as soon as possible. And if the waiter doesn't bring the check in 5 minutes, they'll want to speak with the manager.
Oh, really?
Speaking of which, customer service is much better in the US. The customer is always right. But unfortunately, this has led to the creation of thousands of Karens across the country.
Oh, gosh.
In the States, if you complain about something, no matter how ridiculous it may be, they'll
The customer is always right.
apologize and give you a coupon for 10% off or something. But in Europe, they'll politely tell you to off. In Europe, what you see is what you get, and that applies to the pricing as well. The price you see on a tag is the price you pay. Unlike in the US, where you have to calculate what the product is
No, I would be stressed as buying stuff in the US.
going to cost. In
Like, what do you
America,
mean I have to actually calculate?
the legal drinking age is 21. In Europe, the legal drinking age is just a suggestion. Many Europeans stop drinking at the age of 23.
I don't think that's correct.
After 12 years of heavy drinking. In Europe, the further east you go, the drinking
That ain't true. I mean, maybe it is true for some people. It ain't true for me, though.
age becomes lower and lower. It is
Oh,
quite
okay.
normal for them to have beer or wine with their lunch. Nothing crazy. But during the weekends, they go crazy and go through a regular self-induced coma. You can even walk down the street with a beer in your hand. Speaking of beer, they're not the biggest fans of American beer. One unhealthy habit that Europeans have is smoking. A lot of people smoke. So much so that in some places you can smell the nicotine in the air. It's like being in a 1950s noir movie.
Is it so much that it's more than America? I have no clue about that.
Europe is filled with lots of centuries-old top-tier universities, and you don't have to pay crazy amounts of money in most cases. The US also has some of the best, most prestigious universities in the world.
But it's
But there are
expensive?
3 options for Americans when it comes to college. You have rich parents who pay for you, you are top of the class and get a scholarship, you end up paying loans for like 10 years after graduating. Many Europeans speak 3 languages or more. Since they're exposed to more languages from an early age, because of the neighboring countries, their multilingual education and cross-border interaction
I cannot speak 3.
actions. It can be really difficult to integrate in Europe, and finding friends can be a challenge. You can't just smile at strangers, go up to them and strike up a conversation, or maybe give them a compliment or two. If you do so, most Europeans will think you're one of these: a beggar asking for money, a scammer who wants to sell you something, or an absolute psychopath.
Well, I mean, kind of, I guess. Like, it also depends on, like, who you talk to, of course. But I'm, like, only talking about here in the Netherlands. I do feel like it's hard to become friends with a stranger that you randomly see on the streets here. I don't know if it's really that different in America or not.
And they'll probably run. They find the whole concept of small talk weird, fake, pointless, and annoying. Whereas in the US, it's quite
I mean, I have to agree. I feel awkward in small talk. If someone starts to small talk to me, I'm like, yeah. And it's not because I don't like you. It's just I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the small talk.
normal for someone to approach you, ask you how you're doing and what you do for a living, and then proceed to tell you their entire life history before inviting you to their pool party or barbecue. One other thing I love about the US is how friendly the neighbors are. Not so much in Europe. For example, in Nordic countries, if you hear a neighbor walking in the corridor, you wait for them to pass so you don't bump into them and have an awkward encounter. Nature-wise, both Europe and the US have a lot to say.
man.
The
Oh my
US
God.
has a lot of wildlife and firearms with which they shoot the wildlife. They also have almost every climate zone there is. The vastness, variety, and beauty of the American
That is
landscapes
so
are
pretty.
magnificent. You could be in the wilderness with no one in sight for days. And here's just a small fraction of the natural beauties you'll find in Europe.
Also very pretty.
I'm tired. I've been driving for an hour. How many countries did we cross?
Oh, in Europe, right? That's like nothing if you're from America.
Also, where the hell should we park? We've been driving past the same cornfield for 13 hours.
3 days later.
A lot of people say that
Only
Americans
cornfields?
suck at geography. Well, other countries don't have much relevance in their daily lives.
Yeah, that's what I was actually talking about this recently on my stream. People are always like making fun of Americans for not knowing the countries, but I'm like, but I think it makes sense. America is so big. Your state is as big as one country. America is so big that you could have like vacation in your own country the whole time. If you don't really go to Europe at all, to any other countries outside of the US, I'm not really that surprised that you don't know it. It's not part of your daily life, like it says here. Like, even if you have learned it before, right, in the past, and you forgot later on because you don't do anything with that information anymore. I don't find that weird. Like, it's the same for me. I don't know where everything in the US is. Why? Because it doesn't have anything to do with my daily life. I probably learned it during geography in elementary school, but after that, I've never went to America. I never have to do anything that has to do with the states of America or where things are located in America. So, like, forget it. I don't think it says anything about how smart or not smart someone is. Like, if it has nothing to do with you or your interests, I think it's natural that you forget about it.
A lot of people say that Americans suck at geography. Well, other countries don't have much relevance in their daily lives. A good percentage of them never leave the US and travel only to other states. And frankly, they don't think about other countries much, so they forget.
Your country is so big, and like, I get it. Like, that you don't know about all of the countries. That you don't know exactly where all the countries are. I get it. What I don't get, though, is when you expect that everything outside of America is the same as in America. That's a different story.
They even exist. Where's the Eiffel Tower at? In France? Hey, so where are you from? North Macedonia. Where's that? It's in the Balkans? What's the Balkans? It's in Eastern Europe? Ah, Eastern Europe, that place from Eurotrip. Also, the moment Americans find out that you have a mixed background, they'll be like, I'm American, but actually I'm 1/8 German, 1/8 Irish, 1/16 Italian, 1/16 Spanish,
Nice.
3/8 French, and 1/4 Polish. When it comes to personalities, Americans are more optimistic and smile more often. Maybe that's because they have these nicer, bleach white teeth. They speak more positively about Europe than Europe does about America. Most Europeans are unapologetically themselves, and they'd rather tell you how they actually feel. They're also more private. To prove this, here's a picture of their bathroom stalls, which go all the way down. Yeah, for some weird reason, Europeans don't like people watching them while taking a dump.
He's kidding, right? Why is he saying that as if that's not the case in America?
Also, Europeans do take showers, and recycling is more important to them than life itself. In some European countries, kiss greetings are quite common, even amongst the men, which is a total nightmare for Americans. They don't like being touched, unless it's for a firm handshake. Europeans are more fashion conscious and dress up nicely when they want to go out. Americans, though, they just make sure they have shorts on.
Yeah, like, I remember the first time that I saw these videos of Americans going to the grocery store in their pajamas, and I'm like, people do that? I'd rather die than do that. But I mean, like, if you're okay with that, like, you do you, man. It's just something that I could never do myself. I don't know. Maybe I should do something about it. Maybe I shouldn't give a fuck. Maybe we can learn something from that.
Or they wear the lethal combination of khaki cargo shorts, running shoes, crew socks, a polo shirt, and a baseball cap. Based on media depictions, all Americans carry a shotgun everywhere they go, wave their big flags, and shout that America is the best country in the world.
America!
Well, this is a huge exaggeration. They usually carry Glocks. Perfectly safe. Here, have as many as you want. No, it's dangerous. It should be banned.
Oh yeah, that's crazy that that's banned there.
Immediately. Europe has different cultures and architectures. Since, it's a whole continent, there are cathedrals, castles, monasteries, basilicas, historic bridges, fountains, squares, and much more. In many countries in Europe, people live in apartments that are older than the entire history of the United States. History? Who cares about that? History started July 4th, 1776, and everything before that was a mistake. Basically, Americans think 100 years is old, and Europeans think 100 miles is far. About the culture, the US doesn't have any culture. So yeah, that's Europe and the US for you. If you want more videos about them, check out my channel, and thanks for watching.
No, thank you! Hi! If you liked the video, please make sure that you like it and subscribe to my channel and turn on notification bell if you want to see more of it. I also go live on Twitch and on this YouTube channel, so come join us sometimes. Bye!